Welcome to the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald weekly talking newspaper podcast, edition published on Wednesday the 4th of March 2026 and read and recorded for the benefit of our visually and reading impaired listeners by volunteers at local charity Q and Review Recording Service. More testing at Whitegates. Report by Julie Curry. A further round of ground investigation surveys has now started at Whitegates Park. The council said the surveys will help inform the next stage of the design development process for the new Lindsay Academy project. The survey will consist of 36 hand-dug pits no deeper than 0.3 metres and 14 window sample boreholes no deeper than 3 metres. The purpose is to determine the waste classification of materials which will eventually be removed from site during the construction phase of the project. Pump testing will also be undertaken to further understand the groundwater within the subsoil. The 6 existing ground monitoring wells will be used for sampling. Where this is not possible, further boreholes will be required. Survey areas will be fenced off for the duration of the works. Each borehole and pump will be sectioned off by fencing. Upon completion, all areas will be reinstated with existing turf and fencing removed. The window sample borehole survey and groundwater pump testing ran from Monday to Friday of last week. Water tanks will now be fenced off and left in situ to be monitored until Monday, March 23rd. All areas will then be fully restored. It comes as the council held the first of 2 pre-application consultation events for the existing Myrtle Avenue school site. Proposals were displayed in Lindsay Academy on Thursday, with another event scheduled for March 25th. The plan is to refurbish the school's existing sports hall and to create new parkland, sport, recreational, woodland and wetland areas. That report was written by Julie Curry and read by Ian McKenna. This Week in History. March 8, 1961, Sir Thomas Beecham, English conductor and founder of the London Philharmonic Orchestra, died. March 9, 1956, Britain deported Archbishop Makarios from Cyprus for actively fostering terrorism. On this day last year, Coronation Street actor Sam Aston and his skating partner Molly Lanahan were crowned winners of Dancing on Ice 2025. March 10, 1914. The Rope Venus by Velázquez in London's National Gallery was damaged by suffragettes. On this day last year, the UK urged Israel to restore Gaza's electricity supply, warning that failing to do so risks breaching international law. Israel announced it had cut off Gaza's electricity supply on the previous Sunday evening, a week after it suspended delivery of humanitarian supplies to the territory. March 11, 1925. No No Nanette was premiered at the Palace Theatre, London, with Binny Hale playing Nanette. On this day last year, Tiger Woods announced he was facing a further spell out of action after revealing he had undergone surgery for a ruptured Achilles tendon. That was This Week in History, read by Ian. Scammers are working overtime to get your cash. Report by Julie Curry. Police officers are urging readers to stay vigilant following a number of bogus callers and scam attempts across the Eastern Bartonshire area. These fraudsters often pose as tradespeople, utility workers, bank staff or even police officers to gain trust and access to money or personal details. Bogus callers may arrive unannounced at your door, use fake identification, or pressure you into letting them inside. Others may target you by phone, claiming your bank account is at risk or asking you to transfer money for safety. Sergeant Gavin Murray of the area's local problem-solving team said, "Bogus callers won't be given any room to operate in Eastern Bartonshire. Throughout the year, we will be running several dedicated weeks of action alongside partners and other agencies. Work vehicles will see unannounced spot checks, targeted inspections in key areas, and a robust, visible policing presence designed to disrupt fraudulent activity. We're also determined to educate the public. Officers will be delivering community talks, engaging directly with residents, and setting up police information stalls stocked with clear, practical advice on how to protect yourself from doorstep crime. Our message is simple: stay alert, stay informed, and report anything that doesn't look right. In the interest of safeguarding local communities, the police have issued some advice that can be shared with family and friends. There are a number of ways you can protect yourself, not least remembering that your bank and the police will never ask for passwords, PINs, or money transfer. For cold callers, the advice is to keep doors locked, use a chain or spy hole. Always check ID and call the company to confirm. Hang up on suspicious calls and never share personal or banking details. It's also imperative that you don't click links in unexpected texts or emails. Please check in on elderly or vulnerable neighbours who are often targeted. If you think you've been approached or scammed, contact Police Scotland on 101 or 999 in an emergency. If you know or suspect someone is a bogus caller, you can also call Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. That report was written by Julie Curry and read by Ian McKenna.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. Coffee firms store expansion. Costa Coffee officially reopened its Bishopbriggs store in Strathkelvin Retail Park on Thursday. A substantial extension and refurbishment has nearly doubled the size of the much-loved store. After more than a decade in the town, it has expanded into an additional unit and now offers more than 100 indoor and outdoor seats. The refreshed store features a redesigned counter layout, an additional till point, and upgraded coffee equipment to enhance speed of service. Customers can also enjoy Costa Coffee's new range of freshly baked pastries. To support the expanded store, 7 new baristas have joined the Bishopbriggs team. Emma McLeish, area manager, said, "We're delighted to welcome customers into a space that's bigger, brighter and designed with the community at its heart. With new team members joining us, we look forward to serving even more customers."
Wiring tests for your safety. The author of this article is unattributed. North Lanarkshire Council is continuing electrical safety testing in its council homes and sending appointment letters to tenants now due their 5-yearly safety checks. Around 7,000 tenants will soon receive a letter with an appointment date, and they're being urged to keep it or, if it's not convenient, to reschedule as soon as possible. Further details will be in their letter. All testing will follow strict government safety guidance. The council has a legal duty to carry out essential electrical inspections, and tenants are required to provide access when requested to allow the work to be completed. These checks allow the council to examine the condition of the wiring against safety standards, as it can deteriorate or become damaged, which could result in electric shock, fire or burns. Raymond Boyd, Project Delivery Manager, said, "We are asking tenants to work with us and provide access to protect them and their homes." The author of that article was unattributed. First Lenzie Girls Brigade celebrate 50 golden years. The author of this article is unattributed. First Lenzie Girls Brigade celebrated their 50th anniversary with an afternoon tea on Sunday, February 22nd in Lenzie Union Church Hall. Many previous members, leaders and current supporters of the company attended and enjoyed a photo display of past years of the company. The girls of the present GB company sang some choruses from years gone by, led by Reverend John Campbell. Thanks go to Stuart Catering for the wonderful food provided. First Lenzie Girls Brigade started in 1976, thanks to the late Christine Slimming. At a well-attended Boys Brigade parade at Lenzie Union Church, Christine asked the manager, Reverend David Orrock, why there was no Girls' Brigade. His reply, because you haven't started one. So she did. The captaincy then passed to Isabel Irvin until 1983, when Elizabeth Lang took over, followed by Gay Drummond. In 1989, Sheena Boyd became the captain, followed by Margaret Lowe in 1993, and Sheila Milligan in 2001 until 2010, when Nikki Coots became the leader in charge, followed by Anne Halliday in 2013. All the leaders, as well as those who have given their time on Tuesday evenings, have helped to make First Lindsay Girls' Brigade a welcoming place for girls to meet new friends and learn. Anyone interested in their daughter joining the company should email firstlenzyGB23@gmail.com. That's 1STLENZIEGB23@gmail.com. Codway Estates funded the planting of bulbs by the girls in the Memorial Garden in Victoria Road, Lenzie, for the 50th anniversary. The author of that article was unattributed. It was read by Ian.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. Minimum fare to aid ticket sales, from Julie Curry, reporter. ScotRail is set to introduce a new minimum fare in a bid to reduce the number of passengers who choose to travel without first buying a ticket. Fare evasion is estimated to cost Scotland's railways more than £11 million each year. Those who purposely board without a valid ticket will be charged a £10 minimum fare. The fare will in many cases be more than the standard fare ticket, particularly for short journeys. As an example, a return ticket for someone travelling from Bishopbriggs to Glasgow Queen Street costs £3. There is no additional charge where the cost of the ticket for the journey is already more than £10. However, there is still a requirement for customers to buy before they board to qualify for any other discounted rail travel. The introduction of a minimum fare follows independent analysis of ticketless travel, which has shown that customers who did not purchase a ticket before boarding and travelling had either a ticket office that was open at the time, 74%, or an operating ticket vending machine, 90%, but opted not to use them. It is anticipated that this change will also help to reduce antisocial behaviour on the railway, which is often caused by a small minority travelling without a ticket. There are exclusions for customers who hold a national entitlement card, if a ticket office in a station is closed, if a station doesn't have a ticket office or ticket vending machine, and if a customer has a registered disability that prevents them from using TVMs. Staff will have the discretion to issue the minimum fare depending on the customer's circumstances. Customers who can only pay with cash would obtain a promise to pay ticket from a TVM and then purchase a ticket from on-train staff. A period of education will run from April the 1st to July before the £10 minimum fare is introduced. The Revenue Protection Team will be tasked with embedding the minimum fare. The team generates around £2 million per year, which would otherwise have been lost through people travelling without a valid ticket.
New stance on taxi rank. Report by Julie Curry. Consultation is underway to help drive forward plans for a taxi rank in Bishopbriggs Town Centre. Members of the public and stakeholders are being invited to find out more and fill in a short survey. Readers who are interested in having a say should visit www.eastonbarton.gov.uk/Briggs-taxi-2026 before the deadline on Friday, March 20. It follows consultation with taxi drivers and operators last October, which has helped to narrow down 4 potential options to 2 preferred proposals. Option A is located at the shops on Kirkintilloch Road, and Option B is closer to the railway station. Councillor Gordon Lowe, Eastern Bartonshire Council leader, said, "I hope as many people as possible can take the time to find out more and have a say. All feedback received will help to inform our future plans." Discussions have taken place with Morrisons regarding town centre redevelopment plans. However, the council has been informed that a designated, formal taxi rank, also known as a stance, within the store car park is not an option due to limited space. Previously, an informal stance operated from the area between Morrison's and St Matthew's Church. That area was later fenced off by the supermarket following road layout changes. A new civic space is also being created in that location as part of the Bishopbriggs Town Centre regeneration project, an element of the Glasgow City Region City Deal. However, it is not possible to include a taxi rank within the plans. For more information and to access a short survey, visit the website at www.eastonbarton.gov.uk/Briggs-taxi-2026. The consultation closes at midnight on March 20th. For assistance or any questions, email taxiconsultation@eastonbarton.gov.uk. That's taxiconsultation@eastonbarton.gov.uk. Proposals for taxi ranks in Kirkintilloch and Milngavie were approved by the Council's Policy and Resources Committee in November 2024, and the necessary traffic regulations orders are being progressed. Meanwhile, taxi stance options in Bearsden are also currently being reconsidered. That article was written by Julie Curry. Taxing questions over EVs. This article is unattributed. Mid Dunbartonshire MP Murray has called into question the disproportionate effect Labour's proposed electric vehicle tax will have on rural constituencies. East Dunbartonshire Council has highlighted electric vehicles as a central part of its climate action plan. With rural areas such as Mid Dunbartonshire typically lacking in public transport options, Susan believes the proposed tax on electric vehicles will disproportionately affect residents required to drive further and more often. She asked the Secretary of State for Scotland what discussions they'd had and whether they will work with the Scottish Government to improve charging access and to create a mandatory community benefit scheme for those who see the turbines of the Green Revolution from their windows but don't see a fair reflection in their bills. Susan added, "Electric vehicles have an important role in hitting climate targets. It is not fair rural residents should be disproportionately punished by this tax." That article was unattributed. Promise of lovely, bubbly Easter fun for families. Report by Julie Curry. Magic will be in the air when the ultimate bubble show pops up at Kirkintilloch Town Hall during the Easter school holidays. The iconic venue will host two family-friendly performances by the brilliant Ray Bubbles on Sunday, April 19th at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Promising a shimmering whirlwind of excitement and surprises, the show includes bubble sculptures, amazing effects and dazzling displays. Prepare to be mesmerised as Ray creates a volcano, a carousel, ghost and a tornado, all using bubbles. Ray, who buoyed up over the 150 full houses and rocked the Edinburgh Fringe in 2025, is even aiming to create the ultimate square bubble. And before you ask, we don't know how he achieves it, so you'll have to go along with the kids to find out. The show is suitable for children and adults of all ages, including those with additional support needs. Ray, an international bubbleologist, said, "Spirits will soar, along with excitement levels, when we arrive in Kirkintilloch. Magic will most definitely be in the air." The show is all about audience participation, either on stage helping me perform my bubble tricks, or out in the audience singing along with the catchy tunes. Don't miss out on a bonanza of bubbles and family fun. There is something for everyone, a show for all ages. As founder of Paris Bubbles, Ray works in schools, science centres, theatres, festivals, weddings, and at corporate events across the UK. Last year alone, he notched up more than 100 theatre dates, 30 science centre gigs, and more than 60 school shows, proving just how popular his act has become. The Ultimate Bubble Show, presented by Paris Bubbles, will be staged at 1pm and 3pm on Sunday, April 19th in Kirkintilloch Town Hall. The performances are perfect for an end-of-break treat for youngsters before they return to school. Tickets are priced £9 per adult and £7 per child, plus booking fee. Choose your time and tickets via www.edlc.co.uk/Easter and www.edlc.co.uk/Paris-Bubbles-the-Ultimate-Bubble-Show. For further information about other Easter events which have been organised by Eastern Bartonshire Leisure and Cultural Trust, visit www.edlc.co.uk/Easter. That report was written by Julie Curry.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday the 4th of March 2026. Apprentices, you're hired. By Julie Curry, reporter. Two young people who joined Eastern Bartonshire Council's award-winning Modern Apprenticeship programme have never looked back. Madeline Wilson, aged 21, a second-year architectural technician modern apprentice, will attend the Association for Public Sector Excellence, APSE, Apprentice of the Year Awards next week as a finalist in the non-trade category. The former St Ninians High School pupil applied for the apprenticeship programme after a year at university doing a BSc Honours in Construction Management. Having already completed an HNC Architectural Technology with Digital Construction, she is now working towards an HND. She said, "Leaving my university course was a difficult decision and I had doubts about whether it was the right for my future. However, I have learned so much more in my first year as an apprentice compared to my year at university, and this way of learning while earning is definitely more suited to me. I would highly recommend this career choice to others." Many of the council's apprentices stay on with the local authority. That's what former Turnbull High School pupil Owen Murphy, aged 22, did after he completed his roads operative apprenticeship a few years ago. During his apprenticeship, he noticed that the council was looking for a graduate apprentice in civil engineering and saw that as a possible career path. Keen to apply, he was supported to attend college and undertake an additional qualification. He said, "The council was very supportive and allowed me to study for an HNC in civil engineering while continuing to work as an apprentice and later a road worker. For me, this shows the council wants the best for its apprentices and is willing to help them where possible." The council is shining a light on their stories this Scottish Apprenticeship Week, which runs from March the 2nd to March the 6th. Council leader Gordon Lowe said, "Apprenticeships give young people the opportunity to work on qualifications while gaining practical on-the-job training. It is encouraging to hear Madeline and Owen's success stories. In the 13 years since the programme launched, we've attracted some very talented young people who have gone on to positive outcomes."
Seagull's soaring success relies on public donations. Report by Julie Curry. Southbank Marina in Kirkintilloch is home to 3 boats which do a power of good every year. At the annual general meeting of Seagull Trust Cruises Kirkintilloch, STCK, in St Columba's Church, it was revealed just how hard its small army of volunteers worked in 2025. Members were advised the charity's boats, Yarrow Seagull, Marjorie Seagull and Marion Seagull, carried more than 3,900 passengers for free last year, many of whom had additional needs. The 3 specially adapted, wheelchair-friendly boats sailed from the Trust berth in Kirkintilloch Marina throughout 2025. Powering all of the trips were more than 80 volunteer members who carry out all of the work required, including skippering, crewing, stewarding, administration, training and maintenance. Graham Biggerstaff, STCK chairman, said, "We recorded yet another successful year's operation in 2025, having been established some 41 years ago. As a local charity, We rely entirely on donations. The cost of running the branch for 1 year are in excess of £30,000, 1/3 of that being insurance. However, because the volunteers do all of their own boat maintenance at our custom-made boathouse, which also doubles up as a dry dock, repair and upgrade costs are kept to a minimum. Sales on board STCK cruises of souvenirs last year produced a profit of over £4,000, an essential requirement to keep the charity operational, bearing in mind that the average cost per passenger carried in 2025 was over £9 per head. Despite the ongoing challenges, the branch continues to grow from strength to strength and is always ready to welcome new members for crewing, stewarding, administration or maintenance. If you have some free time and would like to lend a hand as a volunteer, email seagullkirkintilloch@hotmail.co.uk. That's SEAGULLKIRKINTILLOCH @hotmail.co.uk. The office beside the marina is manned by volunteers from the second week of January to the end of October on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information or to book a cruise, call 0141 777 7165 or email the team. That report was written by Julie Curry. National Survey launch. Responsibility of dog owners. Report by Julie Curry. With around 1.2 million dogs now living in Scotland, they are an everyday presence in parks, on pavements and on public transport. But what does it mean to be a responsible owner? According to new research by YouGov on behalf of Dogs Trust and RSPCA, 96% of dog owners consider themselves to be responsible. Picking up dog waste in public spaces, ensuring dogs are safe and taken care of, and proper training and socialisation are the most frequently cited as the most important aspects of ownership. However, the survey also revealed that 89% of Scots have experienced issues with irresponsible dog owners, with a quarter witnessing this at least once a week. Despite owners ranking it as the most important element of responsible dog ownership, 75% of those who have seen a dog owners behaving irresponsibly report seeing owners leaving dog mess on the ground. Among those who have seen dog owners behaving irresponsibly, around a third report having witnessed owners letting their dogs jump up at people, 31%, and the same proportion have seen people having their pets off lead in restricted areas, 31%. Meanwhile, a quarter, 24%, of those who have seen dog owners behaving irresponsibly reported seeing owners ignore their dogs when they were acting aggressively. This comes at a time when NHS data shows that the number of dog-related injuries in the UK continues to grow. This new data from YouGov is further supported by Dogs Trust National Dog Survey, which reveals insights into more than 340,000 dogs. 4 in 10 owners surveyed, 40%, said they worry about the behaviour of other people's dogs and what this means for keeping their own dogs safe. Dogs Trust and RSPCA have created a responsible dog ownership framework which has been designed to help dog owners and their communities have a better, more consistent understanding of what it means to be a responsible dog owner. The charities have launched a national consultation to gather the public's views on this framework, which covers a number of aspects of dog ownership, how dogs and people can better share public spaces, and how owners can provide their dogs with a happy and healthy life. It is hoped that this blueprint for responsible dog ownerships will be adopted by local government, police forces, animal welfare organisations and other groups across the country. The aim is to ensure that all dog owners have a clear understanding of what it takes to be a responsible dog owner. To have your say on the Responsible Dog Ownership Framework, visit www.dogstrust.org.uk/about-us/what- we-do/responsible-dog-ownership. Owen Sharp, Dogs Trust Chief Executive, said, "There are more dogs in the UK than ever before, and, with so many now sharing our everyday spaces with us, it's important that there is a consistent understanding of what it means to be a responsible dog owner. Responsible dog ownership benefits everyone, not just those with dogs, because safer, well cared for dogs help create safer communities. However, there is a clear gap between what owners perceive as responsible dog ownership and what people are experiencing, so we want to work to bridge the gap. We're asking the public to help shape the future of responsible dog ownership in the UK, so, whether you're a dog owner or not, we want to hear what responsible dog ownership means to you." Welfare charity. Dogs Trust is the UK's largest dog welfare charity and cares for around 11,000 dogs every year across its network of 21 rehoming centres in the UK and one in Dublin. The charity has a non-destruction policy and will never put a healthy dog to sleep. It also focuses on its efforts on understanding dogs and sharing that knowledge with the wider public to prevent problem behaviours that can result in relinquishment or abandonment. The charity is working towards the day when all dogs can enjoy a happy life, free from the threat of unnecessary destruction. Its annual National Dog Survey is the UK's largest study of dogs and the people who love them, led by the charity. More than 340,000 people responded to last year's survey from May to June. And that was written by Julie Curry. An invitation to those in need this Mother's Day. Report by Julie Curry. Bishopbriggs Crematorium is inviting anyone who is missing a mother or mother figure or parents bereaved of a child to honour their loved ones this Mother's Day. The crematorium is opening its doors on Sunday, March 15th, between 11am and 12:30pm, for people to reflect on and remember the loved ones they have lost. A special Mother's Day service, led by David Somerville, will be held from 11am to 11:30am. Visitors can also collect a bunch of flowers, which can either be placed on a loved one's memorial in the crematorium grounds or taken home. Additionally, personalised messages and tributes can be written on cards and placed in the crematorium's white memorial postbox. Manager Katrina Murphy said, "Over the Mother's Day period, we are holding our thoughts all those missing their mother, a mother figure, and mothers who are bereaved of a child. They're all very, very warmly welcome to join us for some quiet reflection in our comfortable chapel and beautiful grounds. We also know that the bereaved can take great comfort from posting messages to loved ones in our white message memorial postbox, which helps them maintain a feeling of connection with those they have lost. The invitation is open to anyone to visit the crematorium in order to remember their loved ones during the Mother's Day period, whether or not there is a memorial to them in the grounds. Whether a loss is recent or from some time ago, they are equally welcome. If they are near to the crematorium around Mother's Day, anyone and everyone is welcome to visit for a peaceful period of reflection and remembrance." Katrina added, "Mother's Day is one of those annual occasions when a loss can be felt more. We want to ensure people know that they are very welcome to take comfort in paying tribute to their loved ones to the crematorium." Bishopbriggs Crematorium is part of Westerly Group, one of the UK's largest independent owners and operators of crematoria and cemeteries, with 42 sites in England, Scotland and Wales. They're all set within beautifully landscaped gardens of remembrance, which provide peaceful places for people to visit and reflect. That report was written by Julie Curry and read by Ian McKenna. From the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald, date Wednesday the 4th of March 2026, the letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD GNScotland.co.uk. Please write letters in the subject field and keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Not a new school at any cost. Sir, last week's Herald reported that a consultation on the new Lenzie Academy was imminent. It is clear that Lenzie needs a new school because the current building is no longer fit for purpose, but we don't want a new school at any cost. Current estimates for the replacement 1,400 pupil school are a whopping £138 million, and they are rising. Borders Council has just reluctantly agreed increased funding for a replacement building for Pupils High, 1,500 pupils. The original estimate was £50 million. That has now increased to £61 million to reflect increased building costs. By contrast, it would appear that Eastern Bartonshire Council has money to burn. Approximately 2/3 of the estimated cost of the new Lenzie Academy is remediation of the preferred site, Whitegates Park, former railway sidings. That's the best part of £100 million attempting to make the site safe before they start digging. Tests have shown the presence of asbestos as well as the toxins associated with disused railways. In 2017, the EDC technical officers decided it was unsafe for another proposed school build. As far as we know, EDC has no provision for compensation claims arising from the eventual use of the building as a school. Why is this important? In 2012, North Lanarkshire Council completed work on 2 new schools, Buchanan High and St Ambrose High, built on a former landfill site in Coatbridge. Just over a decade later, staff and pupils began to experience symptoms linked to possible chemical contamination, and the compensation claims started. The Queen Elizabeth Hospital was built beside a sewage treatment plant, and now the water contamination issue is big news. If Whitegates Park was the only site available, perhaps the proposed build should go ahead unchallenged. But other, more suitable and far less expensive sites in Lenzie are available. What is EDC refusing to tell us? Yours, etc. Malcolm McNaught, Lenzie. Protect children. Sir, the resurgence of measles is heart-rending. Very few people are fully aware of the devastating repercussions of measles on infants and children under 5. Measles causes blindness, swelling and inflammation of the brain, seizures, severe diarrhea, pneumonia and potentially death. If a mother contracts a virus during pregnancy, she will deliver a premature baby with a low birth weight. Ethnic and religious communities are more prone to vaccine hesitancy, scepticism, online misinformation, deprivation, disenfranchisement and health disparities. Campaigns crafted to combat measles must therefore be holistic in the nature and scope, and culturally and religiously sensitive to accommodate sundry political, religious, social and cultural facets that define our identities. Yours, etc. Dr. Munjed Farid Al-Khattab, by email. Council tax is so unfair. Sir, for around a third of Scottish adults, the council tax is their largest household outgoing, rather than a mortgage or rent. For most, the council tax is increasing fastest, and for some the increase will be 10% this year. For others it will be at least 5%, well above inflation at 3%, even after hikes in previous years. The Scottish Government gave £1 billion of increased funding from the previous UK budget to local governments, so where is all the money gone? According to the Institute for Fiscal Studies, since 2019, public sector wages have increased faster in Scotland than elsewhere, with pay now about 5% higher than the rest of the UK. Rather than investing in services, Local government has used increased funding for inflation-busting wages with little effect on retention. The council tax is increasingly 10% or more of net income. In Edinburgh, for example, a middle band E household will face a £3,000 total bill, so, with average net income at £30,000 per year, more households will fall into council tax poverty. For those relying on the state pension, income is £12,000 per year, even with a 25% sole occupancy discount, so many in higher bands will pay over 20% of their income. With annual arrears in 2024-25 estimated at £200 million, it's time to ditch a tax system based on 1991 property values. This should be a priority for party manifestos, and while the Green Party is an alternative proposal, it's largely a rehash based on property values. Emphasis should be on paying services at the point of use so it's fairer and more efficient. Change is long overdue. Yours, etc., Neil Anderson, by email. And that's the end of this week's letters page, Wednesday the 4th of March 2026, read by Ian McKenna. Banking on Business to Help End Poverty, a report by Julie Curry. The Scottish arm of a UK-wide initiative to combat poverty by connecting families with surplus goods is examining the possibility of expanding into Glasgow City region. A feasibility study will be carried out on behalf of the Multibank, Scotland, which was launched in Fife 4 years ago by former UK Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Gordon Brown. This will consider the prospect of a multi-bank warehouse, providing clothes, bedding, toiletries, furniture and more household items directly to families in Scotland's biggest region. Its aim is to reduce poverty and maximise sustainable reuse of surplus business stock that may otherwise end up in business waste cycles. The scoping work will be undertaken by Community Enterprise, a consultancy with over 3 decades' experience of carrying out feasibility studies and business plans for social enterprise initiatives in Scotland. Supported and funded by Glasgow City Region, the study will consider the scale and nature of poverty across communities in Glasgow and the wider region, areas of highest need, how many families might benefit, potential collaborators, including local government, health services and charities, as well as possible funders, logistics and costs. Alice Moxley, Multibank Scotland Chief Executive Officer, said, "The concept sources surplus goods at scale from business partners. Through a robust referral system with our network of family charity partners, these are redistributed, free at the point of delivery, to people who need them and are struggling to make ends meet. Crucially, this directly improves countless lives while also reducing corporate waste by maximising social benefits. The model has proven successful, with our base in Fife and a presence in Edinburgh, Dundee and Perth, as well as multi-banks in Manchester, Swansea, London, Birmingham and the Tees Valley. Glasgow itself has the highest levels of child poverty in any Scottish local government area, and a potential expansion into the city and wider region would meet a very obvious need. Work is at an early stage and will require careful consideration about how to design a model which helps address entrenched poverty across Glasgow. However, our hope is, in due course, the feasibility study will allow us to move forward with a plan which will successfully deliver a Glasgow City Region multibank. Glasgow City Region has a population of nearly 2 million and is made up of 8 council areas: Glasgow City, East Dunbartonshire, East Renfrewshire, Inverclyde, Renfrewshire, North Lanarkshire, South Lanarkshire and West Dunbartonshire councils. The region has an economic strategy in place that seeks to do 3 things, and which the multi-bank scoping work is aligned to: creating a more inclusive regional economy, increasing productivity levels in the region, and working towards a net zero economy. Since 2022, the Big House Multibank has distributed more than 2.7 million items to almost 625,000 families. That report was written by Julie Curry. Funding bid for stores tokens. This article is unattributed. Schools and community groups are being encouraged to apply for funding through Tesco as the retailer looks to support more local projects helping children and young people access healthy, nutritious food. The Community Grant Scheme awards up to £1,500, with shortlisted projects going forward to a customer vote in participating stores. Shoppers receive a blue token and can vote by placing it in the in-store unit for what cause they want to support. Each funding round features 3 local projects, with grants awarded based on the number of tokens received. This year, Tesco is particularly keen to hear from initiatives with a clear food focus, including breakfast clubs, holiday food provision, access to healthy snacks for youth groups, community pantries, cookery and nutrition sessions, and food growing projects that help children learn where food comes from. The call for applications comes as the latest government diet survey shows that fewer than 1 in 10 children and young people aged 11 to 18 meet the recommended 5 a day, with 11 to 18-year-olds eating an average of around 2.9 portions of fruit and vegetables per day. Claire De Silva, Tesco Head of Community, said, "We want to support the brilliant schools and community groups in Scotland, helping children and young people access nutritious food. Whether that's a breakfast club, a pantry, cookery sessions, or a project that helps children grow and try new foods, we'd encourage local organisations to apply. For more information, or to apply, visit www.tescoplc.com/sustainability/communities/stronger starts. That article was unattributed. It was read by Ian. Blanket SPCA with help for animals. This article is unattributed. The Scottish SPCA has issued an appeal to the public to donate blankets for animals at its Glasgow and Lanarkshire centres. A shortage of blankets has resulted in the charity issuing an urgent appeal for help. Carrie Gianelli, manager of the Glasgow Centre, said, "Both our Glasgow Centre and Lanarkshire centres are running low on blankets for our animals, so we're appealing to the public to kindly donate what they can. It's still cold, and we want to make sure the furry and non-furry residents in our care are as snug as possible. Blankets can be dropped into the Glasgow Centre reception daily between 11 AM and 4 PM at the Scottish SPCA Rescue and Rehoming Centre, 125 Kinnell Place, Cardonald, Glasgow, G52 3RY. They can also be dropped off at the Lanarkshire Centre reception daily between 11 AM and 4 PM at the Scottish SPCA Lanarkshire Animal Rescue and Homing Centre on Bothwell Road, Hamilton, ML3 0SB. Items can also be purchased from the Centre's Amazon wishlist at www.amazon.co.uk or via other online retailers offering direct delivery to the centres. Since January last year until now, the SSPCA's animal rescue officers and inspectors have attended nearly 30,000 wildlife incidents. Some 4,514 animals have arrived at the charity's National Wildlife Centre at Fishcross for specialist care in the same time period. Its helpline has responded to 104,635 calls from the public since last January, highlighting the compassion of communities across the country. The SSPCA receives no government funding. That article was unattributed.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. 3D models give patients clarity by Julie Curry, reporter. A pioneering augmented reality collaboration that helps patients visualise and better understand surgical procedures, has been shortlisted for a national award. The project has been named a finalist at this year's Scottish Knowledge Exchange Awards. It is led by Professor Stephen Lowe, Consultant Plastic Surgeon with NHS Greater Glasgow's Cannisburn Plastic Surgery Unit and Innovation Fellow at West of Scotland Innovation Hub, and Professor Paul Chapman, Director of Emerging Technology at the Glasgow School of Art. Their research collaboration has been recognised in the Research and Innovation in Digital Health and Social Care Award category for its groundbreaking augmented reality initiatives. The team co-developed the Cleft Lip Education through Augmented Reality CLEAR programme, a world-first technology that helps guide families through cleft lip surgery. Using a fully visual form of communication, it overcomes barriers caused by linguistic, literacy, dyslexia and learning difficulties. By scanning a specially designed leaflet with a smartphone or tablet, patients and families can view a lifelike animated 3D model that walks them through the surgical process, helping to reduce anxiety and improve understanding before their child's operation. It was developed in partnership with Glasgow School of Art and the West of Scotland Innovation Hub and funded by the Glasgow Children's Hospital charity. The project started supporting families in Greater Glasgow and Clyde as part of a pilot in 2023, and it was then made available for wider adoption the following year. The team's nomination also recognises their work on a newly developed breast care augmented reality app, designed to help women preparing for breast reconstruction surgery after cancer treatment. Using augmented reality to visually demonstrate key steps of the operation, the app offers patients clearer insight into what the procedure will involve. It was also developed by Professor Lowe and Professor Chapman, with expertise in medical visualisation and 3D modelling from the Glasgow School of Art, and funded by the Beats and Cancer charity. The breast care app is expected to launch for patient use later this year. Professor Lowe said, "Augmented reality allows us to communicate complex procedures in a way that is accessible, reassuring and empowering for patients and their families. I'm grateful to all our partners and the patients who helped turn these ideas into impactful tools that are now supporting real people across Scotland." The Scottish Knowledge Exchange Awards celebrate exceptional partnerships between academia, industry and public services. Professor Paul Chapman added, "By combining clinical experience with GSA's design and 3D modelling, these projects help patients and families understand complex procedures and feel more informed as they prepare for surgery." This year's winners will be announced at a ceremony on Thursday, March the 19th.
Good day to you today. It's Philip here from Q and Review, reading the church news from the Kirkintilloch Herald. Hope this recording finds you well and having a good week, and the sun is shining. What more could we ask for? Yeah, a little warmer sun would be great. Anyway, back to the church news. Milton Campsie Church News. Have you seen The Chosen? A film about the life of Jesus is being shown at the home of Margaret Burton, 2 Hawthorne Way, on 5 Mondays from 7:30pm until 9pm. The first show was on Monday, February 23rd. Tea and biscuits as well, of course. And we're excited about our Good Times Cafe, dementia friendly, beginning on March the 20th. There will be crafts and games if you want, as well as lots of food and fellowship. That was the week that was. An exciting Go Mad Extra is on Sunday, March the 8th at 1pm till 3pm. We'll be looking at the last week of Jesus' life, involving whips, crosses, stones. Get your child registered in the usual way. And Lent has begun. Pick up your draw near reflections at the church and begin some life-giving habits for Lent. Yeah, giving them up. Go Mad plenty. Reflections have been well received on Facebook and Instagram. Well done to the team Go Mad. Our Easter Messenger magazine has gone to the printer. Look out for it in the coming through every letterbox in Milton of Campsie. That's if you're living in Milton of Campsie. And then on Monday, 2pm, Hobbies Group. 7:30pm, Badminton Club. This Tuesday, 9:30am, Cafe Connect. This Wednesday, 7pm, Time to Pray. This Friday, BB at Campsie Church. Anchor Boys from 6 till 7pm. Junior and company sections from 7pm until 8:15. And now we go to the rest of the church news in the other areas. We're going first of all to the Church of God, which is in Regent Hall, Regent Street in Kirkintilloch. And I had the pleasure of being there last Sunday, worshipping with the folks there, and to hear a testimony of God's work in someone's life. Anyway, this Sunday, 10:30 a.m, followed by a message from the Bible by Michael Johnson. The Coffee Corner is on Wednesdays from 12 noon till 2 p.m. Join our friends and neighbours for coffee and home baking. We invite you to the Bible discussion group at Regent on Thursday at 11 a.m. as we continue through our journey through the Bible, and this week's topic is the divided kingdom, Judea. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit their website, allthews.regenthall.org. And the text this week is, Jesus said, "Now this is eternal life, that they may know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent." And that's from John chapter 17. Now to Bishopbriggs St James Church, Hilton Road, and they still don't have a minister as yet, but they're still going on as a church. There is a communion service on Thursday, March the 5th at 11 a.m, and on Sunday, March the 8th at 9 a.m. in the chapel. At 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, there is a sung Eucharist in the church. Everyone is welcome to come along and do to any of these services. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship after the Thursday service, that is. And the 10:30 a.m. Sunday service as well. Friday, March the 6th, World Day of Prayer, written by people of Nigeria in Cada South Halls at 11 a.m. St Mary's Parish Church in Kirkintilloch. The service on Sunday, March the 8th, will begin at 11 a.m. as usual, and there will be age-appropriate activities in the halls for our young people during the service. Wednesday, welcome continues on Wednesday, March the 4th, when tea, coffee and home baking will be available from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. This will be followed by a short service. We will also be holding our monthly open doors on this day. The church will be open from 10:30 until 3:30 p.m. Tea, coffee, biscuits is available all day from 12:30 p.m. We will be entertained by the Kirkintilloch Ladies Choir. The choir will sing a selection of songs to suit every taste. Tea, coffee will continue to be served during this time, and you're very welcome to bring your own lunch and sit there and enjoy the choir or the peace and reflection in the church. On Saturday, March the 7th, we'll be holding our monthly games day. The church will be open from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. for the family to enjoy playing a variety of board games. A light lunch will be served during this time. On Wednesday, March the 11th, we'll be holding another of our knit-ins from 11 till 2 p.m. We will be knitting chickens and rabbits, wow, for the Glasgow Children's Hospital charity. Wool and needles can be provided. Tea, coffee and light lunch, music and a good chat guaranteed. All are welcome to this enjoyable and useful activity. So there you have it. If you want to join in that, I'm sure they'd love to have you. And now to Lindsay, to the parish church there. The Union Church, that is. The Sunday service is at 11 a.m. Young people are also welcome at Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service will be available on YouTube. We also have the meeting place open for tea, coffee, home baking every Wednesday till 10 till 12 noon in the new hall. Everyone from the very young at heart are welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. The Lindsay Union Bridge Club is on Wednesdays in the Old Hall, 1 till 3 p.m. Come and play this classic game. The coffee pot opens on Fridays for tea, coffee, home baking, a warm, friendly atmosphere for all ages. D-Cafe is on Monday, March the 9th at 1:30 till 3 p.m. in New Hall. For more information, contact Claire Robertson on 07789 425547 or alpha.lindsay@gmail.com. The Guild Coffee Morning on Saturday, March the 7th is in the new hall, 10 till 12 noon. All welcome. Tickets are £4. Home baking and bric-a-brac stalls. Youth Cafe, Thursdays 3 till 3:45, that is, until 5 p.m. During term time, Youth Cafe is a place where young people can hang out, relax and have a good time after a long day at school. Each week there is a free snack with a lot of different things to do, such as games, consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. There is even space for completing your homework. If you wish to join, please contact Kim by email youthworker@lindsayunion.co.uk. Let me read that again. Youth worker at lupc.org. Join us every Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m, for a mix of Xbox, Nintendo Switch and classic games. We'll also run a tournament across the 6 weeks, so consistency equals glory. Open to Primary 7 to S1, S6. Come and play, come and chat, come along and be long. If you're a young person and would like to join us, please sign up by completing the form, and you'll find the form at all the W's, form.jotform.com, and there's various other numbers, but I won't bother reading them all out. And Springfield Cambridge Church, the following are intimations for week beginning March the 2nd. On Sunday, March the 8th, morning worship will be conducted by the Reverend Ian Taylor, assisted by the student Ewan Gibb in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. The Sunday school will meet in room 2. An offering will be taken during the service. Please place your offering in the offering plates as they are passed around the congregation. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, all the W's, springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about the events and church organisations can also be found. There will be no vestry hour and no midweek service on Wednesday, March the 4th. The Guild is inviting the congregation to join in supporting the Eastern Bartonshire Food Bank. Bring along your donations there and place them in the cupboard. And the World Day of Prayer, entitled I Will Give You Rest, has this year been written by women of Nigeria. The service will take place on Friday, March the 6th at 11 a.m. in Cadder South Halls. Copy for the next edition of the Church magazine should be sent to the editor, magazine at springfieldcambridge.org.uk by Sunday, March the 8th. Then to St David's Memorial Park Church in Kirkintilloch. On Sunday, March the 8th, our service will be led once again by Ivor Struthers. We hope you will stay for teas and coffee after the service. The usual short lunchtime service is on Tuesday, March the 10th at 12 noon. Everyone is invited to stay afterwards to enjoy tea, coffee and a chat, a friendly chat that is. Our next concert in the Kirkintilloch Concerts at SDMP season, organised by our musical director Lynn, is on Saturday, March the 14th at 7 p.m. Come along and hear the Brudar duo, that is Lynn Fraser on the flute and Kieran McCrossan on guitar, along with other musicians, perform with drama, poignancy, romance and sheer joie de vivre, whatever that means. To Lindsay Old Parish Church. Sunday worship is at 11 a.m. A crest is available for children under 3. Time out, the social group for ladies of all ages is on Monday, March the 2nd at 7:45 p.m. in the church hall. The quilt and craft group meet every Wednesday 10 till 12 noon in the session room. Thursday afternoon club is on Thursday, March the 5th, 2 till 4 p.m. Enjoy tea, coffee, home baking, followed by a game of cool curling, Scrabble and dominoes, etc. Or if you want to sit back and chat, yeah, you can do that as well, and also bring your own knitting if you want. There are books for sale and any donations go to Women's Aid. Scottish Country Dancing is on every Thursday 7:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. You'll be made very welcome. Come and sing. The Dementia Friendly Singing Group meets in the church hall on Tuesday, March the 3rd, 1:15 to 2:45 p.m. A warm welcome awaits you all, and a cuppa with some delicious home baking. And St Cyprian's Church, each week our main service of worship is a sung Eucharist on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Our priest in charge is Reverend Audrey O'Brien. Stuart usually takes the service and all are welcome. So that's you. That's all the church news for this week. Hopefully you can manage out to one of the local churches in Eastern Bartonshire. And if you have any comments, any information you want me to read out next week, then send it along to Q and Review. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Have a good week.
As published on Wednesday the 4th of March 2026, Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald District News. Say hello to Rocco, a handsome 4-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Rocco will be your best friend. Rocco absolutely adores making friends and thrives on companionship. Being greeted by the waggiest tail you have ever seen is guaranteed with Rocco. He's a super smart lad who loves keeping his mind busy, so he'll really shine with owners who enjoy training, enrichment games, and interactive play. Rocco will make an incredibly loyal, fun and affectionate companion. If you are interested in adopting Rocco, please get in touch with the team at Dogs Trust West Calder or pop along to meet them. Dogs Trust West Calder is open for general browsing on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and by pre-arranged appointments on Wednesday and Friday. Charity. Challenge yourself and help save lives. Support Scotland's Air Ambulance. Ahead of Scotland's next Six Nations Championship chasing clash at Scottish Gas Murrayfield, former captain Stuart McAnally has urged the country to get behind a challenge of a different kind at the iconic National Stadium. Stuart, 35, who ran out wearing the thistle at Murrayfield 49 times, has backed Scotland's charity Air Ambulance, SCAA, stadium takeover on Saturday, May 16th, which will see supporters tackle a 98-foot abseil from the roof to the pitch side and/or an endurance testing stair climb involving up to 7,500 stadium steps. SCAA is hoping to attract thousands to the unique challenge and raise vital funds to support the life-saving work of the country's only charity-funded air ambulance service. And the former Edinburgh and Scotland hooker says that if participants can overcome their fears at Murrayfield, they will not only feel the thrill of success, but also help to save lives. Murrayfield held all my greatest fears, but also realised my dreams, he said. If people are willing to sign up for SCAA's stadium fundraiser, they can face Murrayfield challenges head on and create memories of achievements that will last a lifetime. Stuart, who begins his new career as a pilot with a major UK passenger airline next month, carried out his commercial flight training at Perth Airport, home to SCAA and the base for one of the charity's 2 helicopter air ambulances. I used to watch the helicopter come and go, knowing that it was heading to someone in desperate need, seriously ill or injured somewhere in Scotland, said Stuart. Every flight I witnessed could have proved life-saving for someone, and I had huge respect for the pilots and paramedics taking to the skies in all weathers. Stuart's 2 great loves of rugby and aviation have now combined at Murrayfield as SCAA touches down with its largest ever mass participation fundraising event. And he is appealing to supporters to do it for Scotland. SCAA is there for all of us. They're asking that Scotland is now there for them. I've heard Murrayfield roar in support of their rugby heroes. It would be great if people roared the support of their SCAA heroes at the stadium on May 16th and raised as much money as possible for this absolutely vital charity. Come on, Scotland! Sign up at www.scaa.org.uk. Groups. Society of Antiquaries. The next meeting of the Kirkintilloch and District Society of Antiquaries will be on Thursday, March 5th at 7:30 p.m. in the Park Centre, when Paul Dudman and Catherine Kelsey of the Friends of Lenzie Moss will tell us the story of Lenzie Moss. Seniors Forum. Kirkintilloch and District Seniors Forum, our long-established forum, are looking for new members to join our monthly meetings. The objective of the forum is to assist in improving quality of everyday life for the elderly community, together with social events, guest speakers from NHS, council, local history and many more. We welcome the over 55s to come along, have a chat, get involved and meet new people, forming new friendships. We meet at the Park Centre, 45 Kerr Street, Kirkintilloch, G66 1LF on the last Thursday of every month from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Tea, coffee and biscuits served. Friends of Forth and Clyde. Friends of Forth and Clyde meet every Friday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. at the Boat Users Block, South Bank Marina, Kirkintilloch. Everyone is welcome to come along and get a free cuppa and some friendly chat. No membership required. Canal Society. Forth and Clyde Canal Society are looking for volunteers to assist with the servicing and maintenance of their fleet of vessels, and volunteers to act as crews/stewards. Full training given. Contact operations @forthandclyde.org.uk or call 07498 965 368 for further information. St Columba's Men's Club meets in St Columba's Parish Church Halls every Monday evening at 7:30 p.m. If any man is interested in joining, just turn up on a Monday evening. Kirkintilloch Rock Choir. Are you looking to learn to sing? The Kirkintilloch Rock Choir is led by local vocal tutor Elaine Williamson. A local community choir first and foremost, we are also part of the National Rock Choir Network, which has provided some exceptional performances and opportunities. Members of Rock Choir have met and sung in front of many celebrities and public figures, including His Royal Highness Prince William, the Fonz, Henry Winkler, and on-screen couple Ruth Langford and Eamon Holmes. To book your free singing taster session, go to www.rockchoir.com/join. What's on? Male Voice Choir Annual Concert. St Mary's Parish Church, Saturday, March 28th at 7 p.m. Their guests this year will be a brass group from the Kirkintilloch Band. Tickets available from Ticket Source. Scottish Photo Circle. The Old Kirk Museum in Kirkintilloch is currently hosting an exhibition of work from the Scottish Photographic Circle. Always a popular show, there's a wide range of subject matter and styles to catch your eye. The exhibition runs until March 12th and is open Tuesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Admission free. MasterChef Demo Night. Friday, March 20th, 7 p.m. till late at Lindsay Academy. Hosted by Gary McLean, multi-award winning chef, winner of MasterChef The Professionals. Gary will be at Lindsay Academy on the night, doing live demonstrations, keeping you all entertained with lots of great stories about his life, winning Celebrity MasterChef, experiences as a celebrity chef, his travels all over the world, anecdotes about meeting celebrities and other famous chefs. This all while creating some delicious dishes. The evening is interactive, so you can ask questions as Gary cooks. You will be able to see how to create the delicious recipes up close via a big screen, and recipes will also be available to take away after the event, so you can try them at home. Raffle, games, auction and much more. Tickets £12 from www.lindsayacademy.org.uk/masterchef-demo-2026. And that was this week's District News, read by Ian. Sport. Need to do the right things. Report by Brian Yule. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy boss John Gibson says the decision making has to be better as he crashed to a 2-0 defeat at home to Kilbirnie Leadside. Rob Roy has been on a 4-game winning run in the West of Scotland First Division that had seen them move up to third in the table. However, the defeat to Kilbirnie now sees them drop back down to 6th, ahead of Peterhill visiting tonight, Wednesday. 2 second-half goals from Dale Simeon and Gavin Miller were enough to give the Ayrshire side all 3 points on Saturday. Gibson told the club's media team, "We were on a good run, so it's a bit disappointing to lose this one, but it's a hard league and you can take nothing for granted. Decision making was a big thing. We should have been making better decisions than we were. We were trying hard passes when rolling the ball 5 to 10 yards to keep the momentum going. When we fail, it's when players start trying to do what they want instead of doing the right thing and making good decisions. It's disappointing, but we move on, and for the Petershill game we need to be better. It is as simple as that. We need to make sure we're committed to following instructions. have a wee bit about us and want to do the right things. Results: First Division, Kirkintilloch Roboy 0, Kilburnie Ladeside 2. Second Division, Caledonian Locomotives 1, Bonnyton Thistle 3. Greenock Juniors 1, Ashfield 3. Third Division, Finnart 1, Knightswood 4, Glasgow Pershore 3, Ardere Thistle 1. Fourth Division, Royal Albert 6, Rossvale 1, Westport United 2, East Kilbride Thistle 0. Saturday fixtures: First Division, Petershill vs Ardrossan. Second Division, Ashfield vs Maybole Juniors. Third Division, Ardere Thistle vs Finnart, Girvan vs Glasgow Pershore. Fourth Division, Rossvale vs Vale of Leven, Saltcoats Victoria vs West Park United. That report was written by Brian Newell.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. Aldi Sports Fund reaches the £500,000 milestone. Aldi Scotland has marked a major milestone for its Scottish Sport Fund, having reached £500,000 in donations. Since launching the Scottish Sport Fund in 2016, Aldi committed £50,000 each year to help individuals of all ages and abilities get involved in sport within their local communities. Over the past decade, the initiative has supported more than 650 clubs across Scotland, from grassroots football and curling to rowing, swimming and tennis, helping to improve access to sport and encourage active lifestyles. Funding has helped organisations invest in vital equipment, coaching, facilities and kit, enabling them to welcome more participants and continue delivering opportunities within their communities. Aldi has also announced that its 2026 Scottish Sport Fund will launch this spring, as Scotland gears up for a landmark year of sport, with the men's national football team heading to the World Cup for the first time since 1998 and Glasgow set to host the Commonwealth Games. Sandy Mitchell, Regional Managing Director of Aldi Scotland, said, "Reaching £500,000 in donations is a proud moment for everyone involved in the Scottish Sport Fund. Over the past decade, we have seen firsthand the difference this funding can make to clubs and communities right across Scotland. As the country looks ahead to an exciting year of major sporting moments, we remain committed to supporting grassroots sport and helping inspire the next generations to get active." Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. Ladies give themselves a platform, from Brian Newell, reporter. Glasgow City head coach Leanne Ross says her side have given themselves a really good platform to regain the SWPL 1 title. City go into the post-split fixtures 5 points clear of both Rangers and Celtic at the top of the table. They are undefeated across all 18 games so far, with 14 wins and 4 draws, only conceding 6 goals. The fixture list for the second half of the campaign has now been published, which will see City return to action at home to Partick Thistle on March the 15th. This will then be followed by trips to Celtic and Rangers ahead of the Sky Sports Cup final against the latter. April will begin by hosting champions Hibernian, with Hearts then being the visitors to Petershill Park. There will be an away trip to Partick Thistle and then a visit from Celtic before they face Celtic at Hampden in the Scottish Cup semi-final at Hampden, kick-off in May. The rest of the month will see City head to Hibs and Hearts before they welcome Rangers on the final day of the season. Ross told the club's media team, "It's been a massive effort so far, but now we know going into this split there are 10 massive games to now negotiate. We've given ourselves a really good platform to go into the split. Some players are away for international break, while the ones who are staying will work really hard, as they always do. We'll come back after the break, we'll be refreshed and we'll be ready to face every challenge that comes in the split." Ross led City to the title with a final day victory over Rangers back in 2023, only for Celtic and then Hibs to take the crown in the next 2 seasons. As such, despite the finishing line being in sight, Ross says there will be no change to the approach that has been successful so far. She said, "The performances we've put in so far have been pleasing, but we can't look too far ahead. We've just been looking at every game and making sure we prepare exactly the same way and giving every opponent the respect they deserve. We'll not change anything in terms of our preparations. We'll make sure we go in and we are fully ready and prepared to take on any challenge.
Speedway. Tom back at Ashfield to advise Next Generation. Report by Brian Newell. Tom Brennan was back at Ashfield Stadium to pass on advice to the next generation of riders. The former Glasgow Tigers star joined forces with current rider Leon Flint to put the GB Academy youngsters through their paces. Last month it was announced Tigers were extending their involvement into the grassroots of the British youth system. The side made Ashfield available as a home of Great Britain for training schools and educating young riders. In addition, the venue will host 2 of the British Youth Championship rounds as young riders make their first steps towards a career in the sport. Brennan, who starred for Tigers from 2021 to 23, is off the back of winning the SGP Premiership with Ipswich Witches and the Elite Series in Sweden with Västervik. The 24-year-old is continuing his comeback from a broken leg suffered in America last October, penning a new deal with the Scandinavian outfit. He was delighted to be back in Glasgow and have the opportunity to pass on his knowledge to young ears. Brennan said, "The weather didn't really help, which is unfortunate. I think the whole of Scotland has been underwater for the last couple of months. However, it is what it is. It is such a cool experience for the kids, and even better than I can come along and give them support. Me and Leon always try to do as much as we can, and it's definitely good to be here." The former British under-21 champion hinted that he may be in action at Ashfield this season. Brennan said, "Glasgow is always such a professional place, so it was cool to come and have a look at the track. There is a Grand Prix qualifier here, so you never know. Hopefully I can get some laps in." Brennan will also be part of Team GB squad aiming to win the World Cup, having helped lift the Speedway of Nations in 2021. He said, "I'm very excited for the season ahead. Everything is going to plan, and it has been a pretty quiet off-season for me. Hopefully Team GB can resurface a little bit from last year. It definitely wasn't the year we wanted on that front. We're all here, we know what we want to do, and as I say, it's exciting." That report was written by Brian Newell. Speedway. Brown is buzzing as training starts. Glasgow Tigers team boss Cammy Brown admits he is buzzing as the side began training for the new season last week. All 7 riders took part in 3 days of extensive gym sessions along with team bonding. This included karting at Larkhall Circuit, where Kyle Howarth came out on top, as well as a trip to Glasgow Warriors. Brown said, "It's good to get the boys back together. The season starts here and I'm buzzing for that. All the boys seem to get on great and our fitness guru Ray put them through their paces. The annual Glasgow Tigers supporters group, GTSG, Meet the Team event also took place last week, with Firhill once again the venue. In addition to chats with the riders, there was the usual raffle plus an auction of Speedway items. Brown said, "We were all looking forward to meeting the fans for the first time on Thursday night. It was a great night, as it always is. GTSG thank all the fans and riders who made it along for their attendance. With the new campaign just over a month away, 2026 season tickets are on sale. These guarantee 11 home meetings, 8 league, 2 BSN series and 1 KO Cup. Under 12 season tickets can only be purchased in conjunction with an adult ticket. For more information, visit glasgowtigers.co.uk/buy-tickets. The first home fixture will be against Berwick Bandits in the BSN series on Friday, April 17th. A report written by Phil Lanning. That's the end of this week's podcast. If you want to check us out on social media, we are @Q&Review. That's @CUEANDREVIEW.